How are you all doing today, brothers and sisters? I have this very important information for especially our new mothers. We have adopted some practices that are contrary to our own, and as a matter of fact, we are losing lives. Innocent children are suffering every now and then. Our children, I'm talking about our new little children, the babies, they cannot talk. The only way for them to communicate is to cry. And sometimes when they cry, we try to ignore them because we are busy with whatever we are doing. Meanwhile, if we gave them whatever they need, they won't be crying. And this has been going on for a very long time. And we know for a fact that it is the brains, or it is the secret behind most of the illness that we see today in our children. It's a form of population control in Africa. And I am talking about the fact that we adopted some practices through our doctors and nurses. We adopted some foreign practices that whenever we give birth, you are not supposed to give your newborn baby water till they are 6 months old. It doesn't work that way in Africa. It does not work that way in Africa. So I have this out. It's very, very important. Let us make them very comfortable right from birth. You see what I'm saying? It is going to help us, fight against all sort of mental trauma or all sort of illness that may come along the way, because water is very, very important. Even we, the elderly people, we cannot live without water. We do everything with water. We eat, we bath, we do everything. Without water, there is no life. You see what I'm saying? But they came from Europe and America to tell you that whenever you give birth to a newborn baby, do not give them water till they are 6 months old. And let us consider certain things here. In Africa, our weather condition is very different. It's very hot in Africa comparing to Europe and America and all of that. So if you live in this environment and you are starving your newborn baby of water, it means there is something wrong. In Europe and America right now, there is the winter. The winter season is here and it's coming. Yeah. And during this time, you won't see enough sunlight. Even for a whole day, you will not see the sunlight because of the snows and all of that. So the weather is already cold, it's chilled, that there is no need for too much water, especially for our children, because it's going to make them dull. You see what I'm saying? The weather is very cold already, that the children or the newborn babies, they don't need water because it is going to make them dull. And then the breastfeeding self has water in there. But in Africa, even some of our new mothers, they don't have enough breast milk for their children because of the activities that they do. Some of them have been selling on the streets. They do a lot of activities in the sun. Some of them working around like fire, like a very intense fire. So they are not able to generate enough breastfeed for their children. And then instead of them to support them with water, they are saying no. The doctor is telling them to wait until their baby is 6 months old. My sister, by the time your baby is 6 months old, things may be getting out of hands. They may be getting ready to welcome all sort of illness into their system. And that is when the hospitals become your best friend. You have a lot of appointments taking your newborn babies to the hospital all the time. You don't know And sometimes too, you'll be taking them to the prayer camp. You'll be taking them to the prayer camps, and then the pastor is gonna tell you maybe the grandmother of the newborn baby is a witch. That is why the baby is ill. You see what I'm saying? I'm just gonna take you through this PowerPoint pretty quick. The system that we have in Africa is very different from the system that we have in America and especially in Britain. So whenever we are adopting some medical practices into our system, we should be mindful of the differences. Anything that has to do with medical, first of all, we consider the environmental systems, because it's the environment that determines, more especially, our well-being, our connection with the environment. And our environment is different from their own. Our environment is different from their own. Even right now, there is looking at this dry wind or the harmattan going on right now in Africa. It is, and then you are still starving your newborn baby water. The dry wind is already drawing water away from the body, and you yourself, whenever you are thirsty, you get some water to drink, and you feel good. Oh, the water is nice. How about your newborn baby? Oh, the doctor said I should wait for 6 months before I give them water. Whenever you see through the suffering of these newborn babies, it is going to teach you common sense. You see what I'm saying? So water is very, very important. Let us go through this PowerPoint right here. So I just quickly put this here. Water helps you to breathe whenever your breathing activities supported by water. And then the water helps your body to absorb nutrients. The water makes up about 83% of your blood. And it removes waste. Whenever you urinate, you are getting rid of the waste products in your system. And it's going to help you. The more you have enough water in your system, it is going to help you prevent diseases like kidney issues. You see what I'm saying? Without enough water in your system, that is when kidney issues start to set in your system. You see what I'm saying? The water is very, very important for all of us. So starving your newborn baby water from getting enough water means that your baby has the possibility of developing all these kind of illness. So let us be very mindful of that. And it regulates your body temperature. Whenever you are sweating and all of that, your body temperature is regulating. So if the baby doesn't have enough water because you are waiting, the doctor said you have to wait for 6 months, you are killing your own baby. Look at how hot it is in Africa. It's very, very hot in Ghana and all of that. And your baby is not getting enough water because you think or because you believe in what your doctors are telling you. It means you are killing your own newborn baby, and then you will pay for it, because when they start getting sick seriously, you will be taking them to the hospitals, and then you will be spending a lot of money. So this is what it is. This is what water gives to you. It helps you all angles. You can't do anything without water. Without water, there is no life. Let us see it right here. In Africa, you see a mother selling here. This baby is a little grown up, but whenever you have a newborn baby and then about 3-4 months and you are supposed to go to work, and you bring them or you put them in a cart or whatever, and you sit them by the side here while you are working, the sunlight is hitting the baby, and the baby is already losing water because of the radiation of the sun. And your doctor is also telling you that don't give your newborn baby water until they are 6 months old. Meanwhile, when you are thirsty, you get water to drink, because you think if you don't get enough water, you will get a headache. But your newborn baby, the doctor said don't give them water, and the baby is crying. And because she may be busy with the customers, she doesn't care until whenever she goes home and she get a little breast milk for the baby to drink. Then the baby is not drinking it because the baby lost appetite. And she has to take the baby to the hospital or to the prayer camp because she think maybe the problem is coming from witchcraft. You see what I'm saying? Little things are killing us, so let us pay attention to details. Yeah, I like the comment. Water helps prevent headache. Yeah, it's very true. You see how this baby is crying? Whenever they cry, they have a complaint. They have something to tell us, but because sometimes we think this baby is just crying because they like to cry or whatever, but they have a complaint. So let us pay attention to, if you realize we've given them enough food and they are still crying, it means water is the only way to solve their problems. Yeah, I have been telling most of the people all the time that whenever you see them crying and there seems to be no solution for them to stop crying, it means you have to get them some water. Right, let us go on. So in Africa, you put the baby here at your back and she will be walking in the sun. The baby is sweating and she is also sweating. But whenever she is thirsty, she gets some water. Whenever the baby is thirsty, oh no, the doctor said I should wait for 6 months. Do not be killing your newborn baby. Yeah, you will pay the price in the very, very near future. And then in Africa, most of the time we have the iron rod roofing system. We have the iron roofing sheet. The roofing system is kind of the iron or whatever. And it traps the radiation of the sun and it stores it and deliver it into our rooms. You see what I'm saying? So all these systems helps you lose water from your skin. It's not only the grown-ups, but the newborn babies as well. You see what I'm saying? Whenever it's getting very hot and our roofing system is also helping the sun reach us more. You cannot compare this system to Europe or America. You see what I'm saying? So even in our brothers and sisters in the northern region of Ghana, they have this type of, most of them have this type of roofing, but they are still changing from this system. They are changing from this natural system to the iron system. And then at the same time, even in the northern part of Ghana, for the most part, there is not even enough or good drinking water for ourselves. So if the little chance that we get to lay hands on water, we should make sure that we give enough to our newborn babies. You see what I'm saying? You see, this mother is in America and they live very comfortably in air condition and they live very comfortably without any sunshine, and they are not giving the baby water until 6 months. That is what the doctors are saying. And you are in Africa, you sit in the sun, you work in the sun, you walk in the sun. You put your baby is in trotro, even it's very, very hot in there. It's very hot. You put your baby in a passenger trotro and it's very, very hot. Looking at the number of people sitting in there, the heat is gonna generate and the newborns are suffering. And yet you are saying the doctor is telling you to wait till your baby is 6 months old before you're gonna give him some water. Let us see what happens most of the time in Africa. Because our newborn babies are losing water, they're gonna lack nutrients. And along the way, they will develop so many diseases. And the chief of those diseases is polio. Polio. So I am telling you right now that polio is not coming from a witchcraft in Africa. In fact, the witchcraft that they talk about in prayer camps and all of that, it doesn't exist. It's just some lies that they created to support religious agenda. It doesn't exist. False prophets are making money from you, and while our mothers are suffering because most of the time they become the witches. That is, we falsely accuse them of being witches, while false prophets and pastors are making money because you fear witchcraft. But there is nothing like witchcraft. It doesn't exist. It's witchcraft. Wish. You see what I'm saying? There is nothing like a witchcraft. It doesn't exist. That is why when you come, whenever you are in Europe and America and wherever, apart from Africa, no old lady is a witch in America. They don't call old women witches in America and in Britain. It doesn't happen. It's only in Africa where we see witchcraft. Let us be mindful of that. So whenever you see your baby or your children are developing polio, signs of polio, it means for the most part, about 98% of the time, they lack water. Because you didn't give them enough water when they were young, when they were very little, and they have generated it for a very long period of time. You see what I'm saying? And it's gonna come out one time, and you will see it as a polio. And the same doctor is gonna tell you that, hey, let us get some polio vaccination for your children. Have you ever seen a goat going for polio vaccination? No, you never see the animals going for polio vaccination. So why are they not developing polio? We create. There are some people in the system. They create the problem and they create the solution so that they will be able to make money. We have people in the system. They create the problem and they create the solution as well for them to make money. That is all. And right now we have to wake up. This is not the time to be starving your newborn babies of water. Water is very, very important. It is going to dissolve all the toxins in their system. And they're going to urinate. They're going to sweat. All the poisons, all the unwanted materials or whatever in the system is coming out through the sweat. And also through the whenever they pee, it comes out. Right, so they need the nutrients. And then outside the womb, that is when you need the nutrients. And the nutrients we are talking about is the foundation of all nutrients. It's water. Without water, there is no life. So let us be very mindful of that. And more especially, let us consider the weather conditions in Africa. It is very terrible whenever the sunshine is very severe. Yet you are still starving, or you are keeping the water away from the newborn babies because you think they cannot complain. They cannot beat you up. They cannot do demonstration. So you just keeping the water away from them. Meanwhile, whenever you are thirsty, you will get a cup full of water and enjoy it. And you'll be like, oh, the water is very sweet. How about your newborn baby? The doctor is saying that you have to wait till 6 months. Why 6 months? Why not 4 months? Why not 5 months? What is going on? Have you thought about it that 6 is the number of death? 6 is the number of death. 6 feet is your last. 6 is the number of death. That is why Jesus died on the cross. Jesus died on the cross at the age of 33. 33 is number 6. 3 plus 3 is number 6. It is telling you about death. So today when you go to our cemeteries, you will see the cross of Jesus all over. It is telling you that the cross is the symbol of death. There is no life. That is why I've been telling people that there is no life in Jesus. There is death in Jesus. You see what I'm saying? So let us wake up and apply our natural wisdom. That is the message that I have for you all. Let us share this across so that all our new mothers or our pregnant mothers will get to know how they should prepare or how they should welcome their new or their incoming babies. You see what I'm saying? Giving them enough water will help prevent a lot of issues along the way. It is going to prevent a lot of disabilities. Our children in Africa are developing a lot of disabilities because we don't give them enough water. Water is the chief, or water is the boss in terms of all the nutrients that we need in our system. So that is it. Have a good one. My WhatsApp number is plus 1619 841 8172. and I use the email as well, and that is plus 1619 874 6444. So water is very, very important.